Hey Lily and Ramon, this is Courtney, and in this video, I am going to do a couple of things, just to some tips on things that you guys can do just to help improve your online presence and everything. It's way too busy, honestly, to have to worry about running their business and also having to worry about backing as well. So I want to help in anything that I can. So I'm just creating a short video just to help guide you guys through just a couple of simple things that you guys can do yourselves. Or, if at the end of this you wanted, me to step in to help you guys out instead, then that's perfectly fine as well. But I just wanted to cover just some basic things just to give you guys an understanding of what I do and where your business stands currently, right? So first thing I wanted to do first is I wanted to go over content. And with content, so for content, businesses, with businesses and websites, you want to make sure that they're go on because the more content you have, the more Google gets a better idea of what it does. I'll be able to show you to the or for what you have as service. And you want to have in this content what is known, keywords, which words, phrases that you search up each day, just to help resolve some issues or concerns that you go through. And you can miss out on a lot of business owners can miss out on a lot of buyers or customers, clients by not having those keywords on their website and by also not having them properly placed. And just to give you an idea, so everything that you see highlighted, this is what Google takes a look at when they scan through your site. So any icons, images, logos, all of those things are what Google scans. And those are the type of things that you want to kind of just make sure have the correct uh, keywords embedded into them. And just to give you an idea what I mean. So one way to find out with that, you just right click on the photo, click save as, and then see right here, you want to make, so this one isn't properly optimized. So in order for it to be properly optimized, you want to have the correct keyword embedded into this. So, give you some examples of what I mean by that. So you know, Lily's kitchen, catering, Lynchburg, VA, just stuff like that, right? So those are type of things that Google likes to look for. And just to give you guys an idea, you guys on your homepage are sitting at about 1,300 words, which isn't bad, right? It's not really terrible, honestly. And I went ahead and I looked at one of your, top competitors in Lynchburg area, and these guys are looking at about a little over 1,200 words. And obviously this is easy to beat and everything, and you guys aren't too far off, but there's something different that they're doing with their content that's attracting more towards their business, right? So that's what we are that's what I'm here to do, to figure out what exactly that is and to help fill that gap so that you guys can also start to chase after those things, if that makes sense, right? So, and just to give you an idea, the sweet spot for how much content to have specific words on a at least on a homepage of a website. And if anything, you want to have, you know, at least 200 more words, at least 200 more words than your competitor, right? So now keywords, right? There are tons of keywords out there, right? But not, you don't want just anyone sitting on your website. So just to give you a good idea, so this is basically one of these sites that, you know, this is a site that takes a look at a couple of things. And I came over here words, right? You guys currently have about 29 keywords under the belt, okay? And gonna take a look at what some of those keywords are, all right? And some of those keywords are, you guys are actually getting some traffic to your website if that's coming from, word of mouth or anything. But you guys are getting some traffic. So this is how many people visit your website per month. It's not how many people call you or, try to get your services, but it's how many people click on your website. So you guys are currently with 29 keywords at the moment, and we're just going to look at just the surface area, just like the surface words. So with keywords, a little tip is that keywords with your business name are fine, right? They're good for branding purposes, getting your names out there. They're not ideal for attracting new client, like new customers, just because not everyone knows your business name, right? So because not everyone knows your business name, it's going to be a little bit more complicated to attract those people. So you want to be able to use keywords that are geared towards them. And I'm going to give you an example of what I mean, right? So taking another look at your top competitor in the area. So we're just going to take a look at some of their keywords. They are currently ranking for 74 at the moment, and it's bringing them in a traffic of 100 to their website per month. So just taking a glance at what some of their keywords are. So these are perfect examples of types of keywords. And a good example of a keyword is basically something that you do in your location, right? So catering. And what is the location? Lynchburg. A good example of a type of keyword that you want to make sure is on your website, right? So this is an example of one, and just to give you an idea. And now what I want to do is I'm actually going to show you something, right? I know we kind of went over this a little bit the other yesterday, and I kind of gave you a brief little intro on it, but sometimes showing things is a lot easier for people. So say for instance, this is someone looking up a catering business in Metro PA, right? So now we're just going to cover this page now. So this is going to go into the second thing I want to cover, that is citation. I'm going to get into that very shortly, but first I want to go over this. I already described it a little bit, but this is called a map, right? So this is where basically Google gets a business, and this section over here has your business name, address, and phone number listed. And the ideal is to be in these top 3 results, again, because this is where people click, right? The higher you are, the more clicks you get. You know, most people don't click on more businesses, so this is where you want to be. And in order to get up here, one of the things that you want to have are citations. And here's a picture to illustrate what I mean. So citations, name, address, and phone number, you want to distribute it across hundreds of directories. So you want to add it to places like Yelp, City Star, Facebook, and just hundreds more. And then the goal is you want to just have more than your competitors, because the more you have, the more trust Google will have with you guys, and then it will bump you above them. So that is one of ways. There are other ways, but that's like the most powerful way to actually getting up here. And then the last thing I wanted to cover is basically backlinks, right? I know we didn't talk about this because it was a little bit of we didn't get into this conversation, but backlinks, you know, which basically bring power to your website. And the ideal, again, is you want to be into these top 3 areas. And again, it's because this is where people click. The higher you are, the more clicks you get. And in order to get up here in this section, you want to have what are known as backlinks. And a backlink is when one website links to another website online. So think of it as a vote of confidence that a blog or an article, just stuff like that, will, you know, mention you guys, mention your website, have a link put in the back, guys. That is something that you want for you, because that's going to bring power to your website. And Google's going to look at that, and then they're going to bump your website up, okay? So that's basically how it works, but not all backlinks are created equal. You want to have the backlinks that are intentional and make sense. So because you guys are in the food industry, it'll be a lot more effective for you to get, you know, food industry related blogs or articles or recipes, stuff like that. It'll be a lot more effective to have those linking back to you, you know, versus, I don't know, like or, you know, like someone want to be able to have them. So heading back over to SEMrush, which is a tool, also a tool that lets me look at backlinks, right? You guys are currently looking at about 148 backlinks, which isn't terrible, honestly. And then we're going to take a look at your top competitor, and these guys are looking at 200. And the way to out getting backlinks is, you know, with tools like SEMrush, I can go see all of the that are being pointed towards your competitor and then just grab those for you guys, right? So that's kind of how that works. And I'm so sorry, I forgot to mention how to even get up in this section. So yes, we know that there were for citations like this, but there are tools out there that allow us to see what citations your competitors have, and then we just go grab those citations for you guys. And then you want to add 200 to 300 of those to beat out the competition by a landslide. So that's kind of the gist of how it works. And that's basically it for this video. Just didn't want to make it too long for this. I just wanted to get the basics down. So with this information I provided, obviously you guys can go and implement these yourself. I know we talked about it yesterday and you guys wanted to talk about sitting down to come up with a game plan. I'm totally happy with that. Let me know what your really hope you enjoyed the video. I would your thoughts on it, regardless of what you about. Have a blessed day. Bye bye.